Welcome, dear listeners. I'm Jonathan Carlin.
And I'm Benjamin Carlin.
And we invite you to join us through the Griffin door, your one-way ticket to the enchanting world of Harry Potter. So grab your wands and dust off your broomsticks and join us as we unlock the riddles inside Goblet of Fire, Chapter 35, Veritaserum.
Or as I like to call it, the life and lies of Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah, pretty much. That is definitely this chapter. This is just one of the best reveal chapters like ever.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, it's funny too, because the chapter art that we've got here is, of course, Mad-Eye Moody's trunk with its 7 locks. Mm-hmm. And there are, in fact, 7 locks in the drawing and 7 keys on the key ring, which I was like, hey, good attention to detail. Don't miss that. But I think what's really interesting about this story and the way that, like, maybe why I love Goblet of Fire and how it works so well is like the way that a key works. Like, you know, it's like so much of the story has got like these ridges that are like custom fit to like slide themselves into a lock, and like all of the pins align just where they need to align for it to have all worked the whole time.
Right.
And now it's sort of like what you have to do is like put it all together and turn.
Click.
And when you do, it all works. It's sort of like, oh my gosh, we're here. Like we know how it happened. We know why it happened, like what the mystery was, who was the person who put Harry's name in the Goblet of Fire? Why did they do it? Like, how were they able to pull it off?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think this is a fun chapter. It's cool to see it unravel. And I think it's good. You know, we've talked a little bit about it in the past, like story architecture, because you really have like 2 key phases to this chapter. There's the initial sort of like conversation that Moody or Barty Crouch Jr. is going to have with Harry, which is sort of like the monologue piece.
Yeah.
And then there's the Veritaserum half of it, which is like where he's like he's not monologuing, but it's like he's still revealing.
He's monotoning.
Yeah. So that's a great way to describe it. Yeah. So it all sort of comes together there. So yeah, I don't know. I like the chapter art. It feels whimsical. It feels wizardy. It seems like the kind of trunk that
I literally wrote magical and whimsical looking.
Yes,
so
yeah.
On it, I was like, yes, I really like the chapter art on this one. Very solid, and it's a great payoff, even on the Veritaserum, where Snape like brought it up earlier in the book as a threat to Harry, and now you actually get to see it in action.
Yes, absolutely.
It's there. So you kind of get to like Barty Crouch Jr. Like now that the plan seems over, he really starts like dropping his guard a lot, even when he's talking to Harry and stuff too.
Oh yes.
So yeah, we'll just start diving on in, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I had like one last tiny little comparison to make because I do think you're right. Like there is a phenomenon that I experienced while I was going through my years in college, which is that like you can have roommates and roommates almost under any circumstances, even as good as they can be, which most of the time I had good experiences. Like you get to that last month of living with somebody and it's sort of like the end is in sight.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, like the dishes they don't do start to drive you crazy. The leaving dirty clothes around or shoes untidy or like, you know, I don't know what the issue might be.
All the things you've silently been putting up with, even subconsciously.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Suddenly stop being so subconscious because now the end is in sight.
Yes. You're like, okay. Well, maybe now, like, you know, the fact that you didn't put the toothpaste cap back on, it's like starting to kill me a little bit.
Like just once, man.
Right. So I think that's exactly what's happening to Moody in the first little leg of this chapter here, where it's sort of like he has been holding it together so strong for so long, and it's like it's about to come unraveled. Yeah. So anyway, do you want to kick off with our classic dragon line?
Absolutely. Let's do it. So we start out. Harry felt himself slam flat into the ground. His face was pressed into the grass. The smell of it filled his nostrils, and then the dragons arrived. So it's kind of gone from bad to worse for Harry in this situation.
This one feels like a real insult to injury.
It does.
Yeah. Like last chapter, I feel like it almost seemed like the dragons arriving would be
like to help him or something.
Like to help Harry. Yeah. Yes. Like it's sort of like, okay, yeah. So we had the you know, oh gosh, what is it? Like Voldemort sort of coming into strength and having his own body and all those types of things.
And then the dragons
it's like, to eat him or something.
Exactly, yeah, to burn him to a crispy crisp.
Now it just seems like Harry's really, really tired, very beat up.
Yeah. Like he's already in the middle of a fight that he's losing, and now there's dragons. What?
It's like, come on,
man.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Not so good. But so we find out what happened. He had closed his eyes while the portkey transported him, and he had cut them closed. So he really super didn't see what happens there. And then he's like really, he feels like he's in this state of like, that can't have just happened. Please let it be a dream. Maybe if I don't open my eyes, it won't come true.
Right. I feel like there's going to be a lot of like sentiments that are sort of expressed and then re-expressed over the first couple of pages here. And it really just is going to be like, you know, he like his head was spinning. His head hurt really bad. Like everything was like a little bit blurry. Like, and it's just going to kind of keep reinforcing just like he's in this dreamlike state or just otherwise it's straight
just shock. Yeah. And the way it's being written, I think this is called protracted prose. I think it was where it's like this it's like it's being written out in a really lengthy kind of way to like make you feel it too.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
It could just say Harry felt himself slam flat into the ground. A torrent of sound deafened and confused him. Like everything between there doesn't need to be there. You know, but it is like taking you through the paces of like Harry, like not knowing what's going on, really like smelling the ground, like refusing to let go of what he's holding, like all these things.
Yes. Yep. No, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah. Cause it's like, he like tightened his hold on the two things he was still clutching, the smooth, cold handle of the Triwizard Cup and Cedric's body.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
rude of him to kind of call Cedric's body a thing, you know?
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
That's okay. We get like a little bit of payback for that because I'm pretty sure Fudge is described as an it twice.
Oh, well, that's good.
On the very next page. So,
nice.
We got that going for us at least. Let's see here. Yeah. So then the torrent of sound deafening confused him. This is sort of like, I actually quite like as many complaints as I have about the Goblet of Fire movie. I do like Harry landing back in front of like the crowd of people.
Yeah.
And everybody there just sort of thinking like, it's over.
He's won.
You know, like, because that kind of makes sense.
Right. That's what they're expecting. They think it's over, and then it creates such a good amount of confusion. It's like everyone's like so happy. Oh my gosh, this is what we've been waiting for. And then like some people are celebrating and some people are realizing the truth. And it's like, what's real? What's happening? Yeah.
Yes. And in that way, you can almost even see like the terror and the panic, like vibrate through the audience where it's kind of like the first person realizes, then the second person sees them realize. And then, you know, each of those have three people realizing, and it's like, boop, 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 boop. And it's like, everybody is starting to realize like, wait, no, this isn't a good thing. And it's actually a really interesting question as well, because Harry's been at the graveyard for what we have to assume has been a minute.
Yeah.
You know, which means that there's functionally no action inside of the maze at all.
Nope.
Like, does everyone know that has happened? Like, because that would lead more to this idea that people were already in a state of panic upon their return.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They think they're just in there bad. They don't know how long the maze is going to take.
I know, but yeah, it's like that's where it's kind of like, what is wrong with this game?
Yeah.
Like, it's like
this is the non-spectatoriness of it is such a problem.
It really is. It really is. Yep. Let's see here. So there were voices everywhere, footsteps, screams. He remained where he was, face screwed up against the noise as though it were a nightmare that would pass. I'm sure right now that's all he's hoping for.
I know.
And this is always kind of interesting phrasing too, because it says, then a pair of hands seized him roughly and turned him over. Harry! He opened his eyes and he was looking up at the starry sky, and Albus Dumbledore was crouched over him. It's surprising to me that Dumbledore's got like a rough touch here. Like, yeah, because it seems like it's so counter to everything we know about Dumbledore.
It does. It's sort of, he's just like, what's going on? Like he's immediately grasped that something is askew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd say by the bottom of the page, he's pretty much grasped the situation though.
Right.
Like he's like, okay, time to go to work.
It's like, I know what this means.
Yep. I've been waiting for this. Here it is. Okay. Deep breath. We got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Harry, you stay here. Crap. crap.
He didn't say there. I told him to stay here. And oh man, no, yeah. So one of the things I do think is kind of interesting about this is that we have like the it mirrors maybe ever so slightly like the King's Cross Station situation where like Harry goes into the forest, he's hit with the Vada Kedavra, he wakes up and the first person he sees is Dumbledore, and that's kind of like the same thing. Like it's even like made a point that like his eyes are like fiercely kept closed, and the first thing he does look at is Dumbledore.
Oh, you're right. It is very similar to that.
Yeah.
And upon wondering if he had clothes, he found he did.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's what happens in the other scene.
Yeah.
Let's see here. He had come back to the edge of the maze, and again, that sort of I think goes to reinforce the sentiment that on some level the port key is meant to return you to this particular location.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that even more as well. Like possibly it's the case that like there was almost like a queue that you could like establish with this port key, if that makes sense, where like maybe it had like what Moody had done was put a stop first, like before the stop. So it's not necessarily like even like a return. It's just like one thing that the cup knew it was supposed to do was to bring you to the front of the maze. Like that is what makes sense.
Right.
That would be the obvious way for this spectacle to end, so that like everybody there essentially witnesses somebody just appear out of thin air holding the cup.
Right.
And it's sort of like, ha ha,
victory.
Right. Like that would be like the showmanship of the thing.
Right.
So part of me was almost thinking like that maybe is like what was built into the magical sequence there is like.
And he just like threw a pit stop in there.
Pretty much.
Can you imagine if like they had gotten there and they were both just like, this doesn't look right. Should we try and pick it up again? And we're back.
And we're back. Boom. Bada bum. Bada bum bum.
What? Wormtail. What is that? Did they just, what? Wormtail. No!
You were supposed to kill this bear. Oh man. But let's see here. Yeah.
So he comes back to the other page. He's not letting go of Cedric, and that's when he finally is able to tell Dumbledore right away he's back. He's back, Voldemort. And then Cornelius Fudge shows up, and unfortunately he misses that one sentence, which like that could be the first thing he hears, and he'd be like, wait, what? Could have been worse.
Right.
Or could have been better if he'd maybe just heard that very first thing he said, but he doesn't. Instead, what he notices, my God, Diggory, Dumbledore, he's dead. So the minister himself spreading panic, a bit of foreshadowing for the foreseeable future here.
That's right. Yep. Which is, I mean, I guess it's also like a little bit ironic because this whole thing is trying not to spread panic, but maybe that's like a lack of professionalism just, on Fudge's part where it's like, not the right thing to say.
Yeah.
The other people can hear you.
Exactly.
Don't say that right now.
Yeah.
Wait till you get away from other people and before you start declaring things openly.
I know. But then it says and then others shouted, it screeched into the night. He's dead. Cedric Diggory dead. I was like, guys, it's a weird time to be making jokes. I mean.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Too soon. I do. One of the things I do like with this whole sequence, though, is that it says that Harry let go of the cup, but he clutched Cedric to him even more tightly. I feel like that's just like good, like very quiet, sort of like priority establishment where it's like the cup does not matter to Harry at all. Like it is technically his prize for winning, but it's exactly how he feels about like the galleons. Like as far as he's concerned, it's like, I don't want them. Like,
I don't want them.
I'm not going to spend them. Somebody else can have them or I'm going to throw them away. Like, you know, whatever.
He seems to be clutching onto Cedric. Like as long as he's holding him, maybe he's not dead or something.
Right. Like maybe something can still happen there.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just even just Harry's like genuine protective instincts on some level. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. But yeah, so then we've got, Fudge saying, Harry, let go of him. But Harry wouldn't let him go. And then finally Dumbledore chimes in and says, Harry, you can't help him now. It's over. Let go.
Yeah, so that was the line I was talking about. It's like at this point, Dumbledore has grasped the situation. And he's like, it's over. Yeah.
Right.
Like
yes.
I have to coax Harry here back to reality. And then it says, let's see, he wanted me to bring him back. Seemed important to explain this. He wanted to bring him back to his parents. This must sound like he's just talking crazy because it's like, how could he have told you that? You know?
Right. Yeah. There's like a lot of gaps, but I feel like this also is going to like speak to probably even from Dumbledore's perspective, not that he would ever doubt it, but like to just Harry's sheer innocence in the situation. Cause it probably is not a very good look for, two champions to show up. One of them is dead, like nobody's really assuming that, like, this is like when you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras.
Yeah.
Like, under this particular situation, it's like, what is more likely? These two got in a fight inside of the maze, or the Dark Lord who's been gone for 13 years mysteriously returned?
Kidnapped one of them, murdered one, and then Harry fought him, beat him, and came back.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yes, yeah.
Seems less likely.
Right.
But you can tell Dumbledore, I like his response to it, though. He says, "That's right, Harry, just let go now." He's just very, like, talking to him calmly or something. He's like trying to, like, just like, yep, okay, whatever you say, that's fine. Let's go. Let go of the body.
Yes, that's right.
But then, I'm sure you highlighted this line. It says, Dumbledore bent down and with extraordinary strength for a man so old and thin, raised Harry from the ground and set him on his feet.
Yes, this is like, we have talked so at length, and the Fantastic Beasts film series like gave us so much fodder for this particular conversation, and of course never gave us a conclusion to it, at least not a firm one. The sentiment here is that the relationship between Dumbledores and Phoenixes seems to just simply extend beyond Dumbledore owning Fawkes as a pet, or even that like a Phoenix might appear to a Dumbledore in need. Like, that to me almost seems like a phrase that like is part of Dumbledore not fully embracing the relationship between Phoenixes and Dumbledores.
Right.
Because there's a lot to be said for the idea that when Dumbledore dies, he becomes a Phoenix in death.
Right.
And this is like one of those instances where we're seeing a very key characteristic of a Phoenix, which is the ability to carry a load much greater than you may expect, being delivered right to Dumbledore. And I would make the argument this chapter in particular is some of the most solid ground that we get for that argument, because it's going to keep coming up. Like, Dumbledore is going to have like heat emanating from him. It's almost like a fiery intensity that he has coming off of him. Mm-hmm. But the one that I think is really like unusual to have included is the extraordinary strength element, because it's not something that like it's not something that the moment necessarily requires. Like, nobody would bat an eye at a scenario where it says that Dumbledore helped Harry to his feet.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be stuck on that.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't just be like, and Dumbledore lifted Harry and set him on his feet. Like, it could just say that and it'd go straight by. But extraordinary strength for a man so old and thin makes it stand out a lot more, because one of the things Phoenixes can do is carry extraordinary amounts of weight.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, for their size. Yeah, so that's just another thing that's just very, very Phoenix about him. Even I want to say, even on just the page before, I'm not sure it totally matters, but it says, then Dumbledore's face, which was still blurred and misted, came closer. So I'm not sure if it means misted like through Harry's, like tears in Harry's eyes, or if it's saying that Dumbledore himself has like a misty eye right there. But even that could be like Phoenix tears or something, and he's just trying to like help Harry out of the shock while he's doing this.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, that's a very good point. Oh my gosh, like if Dumbledore has Phoenix tears.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what?
That'd be wild.
That would be. But yeah, then again, you got Fudge, I think, attempting to sort of like take control of the situation when he's like, he needs to go to the hospital wing.
I was like, get in your own lane, Fudge.
Yeah, seriously, you got other stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll take Dumbledore. I'll take him. And then Dumbledore chimes in and says, no, I would prefer. And then Fudge is like, Dumbledore, Amos Diggory, running. He's coming over. Don't you think you should tell him before he sees? Yeah. And that, oh, go ahead.
No, it's just fun. It's just like Dumbledore is like, he understands that like taking care of Harry in this moment is like probably the most important thing. But then Fudge happens to say maybe the only other most important thing.
It's true.
Which is that you have to talk to the dead boy's parents. And he's like, okay.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But even that is interesting that like Fudge doesn't see that as his own responsibility.
I know.
As the minister of magic.
Right.
But either way, I think it's interesting because it does mean that like Dumbledore wanted to be the one to do this, like, which really basically speaks a volume because because of the fact that Cedric is dead. Like, it's like Dumbledore is like, okay, there are two very important things happening, and one ekes the other out, but only just barely, which is so important because then the very next thing he says is, Harry, stay here. And then, of course, you've got somebody come over, and it's unnamed at this particular moment.
Oh, but before that, it says, girls were screaming, sobbing hysterically. Not boys, just girls.
The boys were raised by tough men,
exactly.
obviously.
All the boys here are super strong.
We don't cry.
We're so stoic.
That's silliness. It's okay to cry, guys. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So then we have an unnamed person come over to Harry. It says, it's all right, son. I've got you. Come on. Hospital wing. Mm-hmm. And then it's even interesting here that Harry, this is like the Dumbledore's man thing, I think, chiming through because Dumbledore said stay. Like, he's not even in his right mind. It even says that he said it thickly.
Right. Dumbledore says stay.
But I think it means that like Harry knew that Dumbledore wouldn't have said to stay here unless he meant it.
Right.
And this is the tell. Like,
yes.
Dumbledore is basically watching out of the corner of his own eye, something that Moody is not going to be doing for the rest of the night, or Barty Crouch Jr. But that is the moment that tips him off, is that nobody would have taken him. Nobody who knew Dumbledore would have taken him out of his sight.
Right, exactly. But he says, you need to lie down. Come on now. Like, as if Harry wasn't just lying down. But of course, he just wants to separate him from the crowd so we can get the full story of exactly what happened. And it's interesting how he's going to get the story out of him because he pretty much knows what should have happened anyway, except that Harry came back alive. So he wants to like double check that everything worked.
That's exactly right. Yes. Yep. So then it'll take just like a couple of minutes before we even know who is actually physically moving him. So this is also an interesting one because there is a slight difference between and of course it's only, 20 seconds worth of reading before you get there. But it means that like we are concealing who is speaking right up until the moment that we're not.
Right.
And that's the type of thing where if you're reading through the audiobook, the voice, Moody's voice is going to be used. Like it's going to be like, it's all right, son. I've got you. Come on. Hospital wing.
Right.
Like it's like that deep voice, but it's like obviously not McGonagall. It's not Flitwick. Like it's not someone else because of the voice that's used. But so then it'll go a couple paragraphs forward and say, what happened, Harry? The man asked at last as he lifted Harry at the stone steps. Clunk, clunk, clunk. It was Mad-Eye Moody.
Yeah.
That I think it's like the phrasing of that is interesting. The man asked.
I know. It's like, is that hiding it from the reader, or is it just that Harry is so like in shock that he doesn't quite know who it is yet?
Right. And I mean, I think that's a perfectly good explanation. I think it's interesting to me that, you get that far from the first thing he says till the reveal to understand who it was.
Yeah. But even at this point, you might not think you don't know he's the bad guy yet.
No, you certainly don't. So couples of porkies, said Harry, took me and Cedric to a graveyard and Voldemort was there. Lord Voldemort. The Dark Lord was there. What happened then?
See, there's the next tell. He's like starting to lose his guard here because he calls him the Dark Lord.
That's exactly right. Yep. So the Dark Lord is something that, of course, his followers are going to call him, not everybody else.
Right.
Killed Cedric. They killed Cedric. And then made a potion, got his body back. The Dark Lord got his body back. He's returned.
Yes.
And the Death Eaters came. And then we dueled.
You dueled the Dark Lord?
Got away. My wand. Did something funny. I saw my mom and dad. They came out of his wand.
Yeah. And you can tell Barty Crouch Jr. is just like, okay, all right, sit down. I got to hear this. What happened now?
Yes. Yeah.
Drink this. And I'm like, man, he could have just poisoned him right here. This could have been it. Because Harry drinks it.
I know. And it's funny too, because like even this, like it says, drink it, you'll feel better. And like, even that can be seen as like out of character. Like you might be like, why is he still taking care of him? I mean, it feels like a Lupin thing to say, like, eat this, it'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
Like with the chocolate and stuff like that. But what he's giving him is the pepper up potion. And what is really happening is that it is going to get Harry's senses to focus back in. Because that's basically what happens next. It says that Moody helped stuff the stuff down Harry's throat. He coughed, a peppery taste burning his throat. Moody's office came into sharper focus, and so did Moody himself. So he's trying to get Harry focused so that he can get the story out of him faster.
Yes. And then you get the line here. He looked as white as Fudge had looked. Both eyes were fixed unblinkingly upon Harry's face. So like he's freaked out. He is like really worried that the plan didn't work because Harry's here.
Right. Yeah. You're not supposed to be here.
Right. But you're saying he's back. So yeah, walk me through it here.
Right.
Yeah, Voldemort's back, Harry. So he actually calls him Voldemort here. That's a rare moment for anyone else to call him that.
True. Yeah.
How did he do it? And so how did he do it is interesting because surely he knows how he did it, right?
Would he have explained? I mean, maybe that's just a way to verify like whatever Harry tells him.
Oh, sure.
Maybe it's a way to sort of be like, I know what he's supposed to have used. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sure enough, what Harry would tell him is that he used stuff from the Father's grave, from Wormtail, and from me. And then he goes further and says, what did the Dark Lord take from you? Blood, said Harry. His sleeve was ripped where Wormtail's dagger had torn it. Moody let out a breath in a long, low hiss. Like, to me, that is Barty Crouch Jr. understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a hiss.
Yeah. Hiss.
Very, very specific.
Very snake-like right there. Or maybe he just knew he needed Harry, not what he needed from him, because we also have the theory about how, like Barty Crouch Jr. could potentially come back or whatever. If like he made this exact potion,
right,
or something.
Yeah. So the rough breakdown of that, just to give a quick overview, is that there's a kind of fascinating outcome that's going to happen pretty much in the next chapter, which is that Barty Crouch Jr. is going to be given the Dementor's kiss, which means that his body remains, which is kind of like a weird fate for someone so nefarious.
Yeah.
Especially somebody who is, as far as we're concerned, like Dumbledore's or Voldemort rather's most trusted follower.
Right.
And he specifically transforms his father into a bone. Right.
Which is the very object we just learned in the last chapter that you need for this restorative potion.
Exactly. Yeah. So then, Hand of the Servant would be fairly straightforward. Anybody who's willing to help you. And then Blood of the Enemy is also straightforward. Anybody who's not willing to help you.
Right.
And there effectively could be a situation where you have Barty Crouch Jr. come back to face like a fully trained Harry Potter in adulthood as like an Auror.
Yeah, right.
Which would be just a fun story.
And the idea, of course, for that to have worked he would have needed to have made a Horcrux
in advance.
But our theory there is that we know who he killed, which is his dad.
Yep.
And so that's the murder he could have used to make the Horcrux, and then the only other like important object he had on him at the time. Well, he has the map with him, but the other obvious one is Moody's eye,
which we also know the fate of.
Yes, which we know the fate of. We know exactly where it is. It happens to be exactly at the Quidditch World Cup, which is also where Barty Crouch Jr. cast the Dark Mark.
Yep.
Which is kind of just like specific and like, wow, we happen to know where it ended up, and we know that when Moody gets it back, like it doesn't fit as well as it's supposed to, which is kind of surprising because it's like the Polyjuice potion makes an exact copy of him, so like why doesn't it fit as well? And we think the reason is because there is now something extra in it, which is the soul of Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah, so it's been modified, basically. Yep. So that's a quick little theory there for you, for the possibility for a Barty Crouch Jr. to return someday, which would be super exciting sequel series. Let's see here. Then we get the question, and I think this one's funny. And the Death Eaters, they returned? Yes, said Harry. Loads of them. To which I wrote in, well,
I mean, some,
like there's really not that many of them. We can pretty much name them all.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. How did he treat them? Moody asked quietly. Did he forgive them?
Yeah. Still starting to lose. He's like, this is more like what a weird question to ask.
I know. Yeah. It's like, who cares?
Like, what do you mean? What? How do you treat them?
Maybe not even who cares. Like maybe this could be relevant information, but it's probably not the first question.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It's not. I mean, it'd be very interesting to like, what did he say to them? What did he do? Yeah.
Right.
Like, how did he treat them is an interesting way to phrase it. But of course, what he wants Harry to say is, what the answer he wants is he tortured them. He yelled at them. He berated them or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. And then of course this sparks, because they're talking about the Death Eaters, this sparks in Harry's memory that there is a Death Eater at Hogwarts. And he knows just enough piece of information to know that they put his name into the Goblet of Fire and that they were the ones who made sure that he made it through to the end. And then Moody basically responds, I know who the Death Eater is. And Harry's like, Karkaroff?
Yeah. Oh, tell me how you really feel, Harry. Yeah.
that was his top candidate.
That was his top candidate. It was Karkaroff. Yeah.
Right. Which would have been just maybe like a little bit disappointing, honestly. And then Moody's like, Karkaroff fled tonight when the dark mark burned upon his arm.
Which he knows because he also felt the dark mark burn upon his arm.
That's exactly right. Yep. But I doubt he will get far. The Dark Lord has ways of tracking his enemies.
How? What ways?
I know. It's like, what is that?
The taboo? Like, is that?
Yeah.
That's the only real way we see him like tracking. In the meantime, he can never find Harry ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe in this particular regard, it's like, I mean, his enemy is a strong word because I was thinking like maybe the dark mark, but those would specifically be like what he would refer to as his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big air quotes on friends there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Harry's like, he ran away, but then he didn't put my name in the goblet? No, said Moody slowly. No, he didn't. It was I who did that.
What?
So he comes out with it so quick.
I know.
Yeah.
It was I who did that.
Yeah. And Harry's like, what? No,
No, you didn't. You didn't do that. You can't have done. He's just like, none of that makes sense. How could it have been you? Wait, what? What? Why?
Right. Yeah.
I know. It's like, I think he's even just like, okay, even if you did, but like, who's the Death Eater? Whatever reason you had for it, okay, but like, tell me
who the Death Eater is. Yeah. It's like, I mean, you could imagine from Harry's perspective, this is somebody he's like so looked up to that we brought up. I mean, like, Sirius has backed him, Dumbledore backs him. Like, there's just like situation after situation after situation that would lead you to believe that like this person is fine. And no, he is not.
Nope.
Because then the next thing that happens is Moody draws out his wand and points it at Harry.
I assure you I did.
Yeah. And he is like, he's questioning even further now, or he's pushing harder for the answer to the question. Rather, he forgave them then, the ones who escaped Azkaban.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
In his own twisted version of forgiveness where he just puts them in debt.
That's exactly right. Yes. It's like, now you just owe me for as long as you were not working for
Although,
me.
if you put Voldemort's math on Barty Crouch Jr., Barty Crouch Jr. went to Azkaban for 1 year.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So he was, I guess, I mean, he never really stopped doing anything for him, I guess, right?
I mean, I think he would make the argument that does Bellatrix share the same debt that the other Death Eaters do?
Right, I guess.
Because it doesn't seem like she does have that same debt because she just went to Azkaban the whole time.
Right.
But y'all, we need to take a brief pause right there to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Prolon. Okay, seasons. Let's talk about them. Current season, summer. Current season of life, newish dad. This means two key things. My time I used to have to exercise is basically gone, and I still need to be outside in water shorts. I'm not really sure why I call them water shorts, but anyway, it's instances like these when Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet is the ticket in terms of getting that water shorts bod back in gear. So what is it? Prolon is a plant-based nutrition program featuring soups, snacks, and beverages designed to nourish the body while keeping it in a fasting state, triggering cellular rejuvenation and renewal. And Prolon has proven to deliver real results like fat loss, metabolic reset, and radiant skin that will have you looking your best and feeling confident all summer long. So get ready to bust out your water shorts. Honestly, it's starting to grow on me because for a limited time, you can be first in line to experience the new next gen at special savings. Prolon is offering through the Gryffindor listeners 15% off site-wide plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day program. Just visit prolonlife.com/Griffin. That's PROLONLIFE.com/Griffin to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. prolonlife.com/Griffin. Link in all the obvious spots. But is what you were going to say that if it's been 13 years, Barty Crouch Jr. spent one of them in Azkaban and then one of them at the other end in his service. So he's down to 11.
Well, I would have said that the time where he was imprisoned would have been like, wouldn't have really counted because he was trying to find Voldemort, but he couldn't. Like he was like so I was going to say the year at Azkaban like would have counted for one, but now he's already paid off his 1 year of service or whatever here, but obviously Azkaban wouldn't count as a negative apparent for some reason.
Right.
In this regard.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're right there. I follow what you mean. Let's see here. Yeah. So he says, I asked you whether he forgave the scum who never even went to look for him. Those treacherous cowards who wouldn't even brave Azkaban for him. And I'm like, dude, you're pretty cowardly in court yourself.
I know, right?
I don't know exactly how brave you were.
I know.
I think there was a lot of like, Father, it wasn't me.
I know. All I can think is that he used like that. Even that's an act. Like he's not really afraid, but maybe he is. But also it says the treacherous cowards who wouldn't even brave Azkaban for. And I'm like, dude, you were only there for 1 year. Okay?
Seriously, yeah.
You got off pretty easy, all right.
And your dad came and bailed you out.
Yeah, came and bailed you out. The same guy who sent you there, okay? Yeah, no thanks or anything.
Right.
I guess he did immediately re-imprison you in a different way, but
There's that.
Yeah. But then fled at the sight of the dark mark when I fired it into the sky. So now he admits to having done that as well. And Harry's like, wait, you? What? Why you did that? Okay. You put my name in the fire. You're sure the dark mark up, but like, just who's the Death Eater?
Are you sure it's not Karkaroff?
You sure? Like, did you think that would scare them off? Maybe it was a good move. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, because it did.
Because it did. Yeah.
And I do love the next line, which is that like it's a line that makes a lot of sense when you have the full context. But it's I told you, Harry. I told you, if there's one thing I hate more than any other, it's a Death Eater who walked free. They turned their backs on my master when he needed them the most. So this is the thing you don't expect from a Death Eater, is that he has vengeance towards the other Death Eaters, but he's being oddly truthful back when Moody, who was a dark wizard catcher, someone who could say that like with obvious context in mind.
Yes.
But it does happen to work both ways very neatly.
It does. It's also interesting here that he calls him Harry right here, like rather than Potter. I'm like trying to think of any other Death Eaters ever call Harry by his first name except for Voldemort.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Right.
That would be like a fun one to scan for as well.
Like he doesn't say, I told you, Potter. He says, I told you, Harry. Like,
right.
They're like, oh, just get in the habit of being on first name basis with Harry Potter there, did you?
Harry, the chosen one, Potter.
So he's now used Harry's name and Voldemort's name.
Right.
So he's all sorts of, crazy.
Maybe he's just like a big name dropper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? I expected him to torture them. Tell me he hurt them, Harry. So he did it again. He's like, well, he hurt Avery and Wormtail, I guess. So
and who's our boy?
Oh, not. Theodore Not.
Theodore Not.
Yeah.
That guy's standing down there on the corner trembling in his boots.
He's the one who apparently makes the time turner in The Cursed Child.
You're right.
Yeah. The wackadoo one that doesn't work. And then Draco's like, guess what? I got a regular one for plot convenience.
It's made of gold or something.
It's made of gold, so it works better than the other one. Oh, that story is all over the place.
It is. We did see The Cursed Child just in the past couple of weeks, and it was after we had our whole not joke. And when I heard them say not on stage, I like giggled to myself. I was like,
no way.
That guy?
That guy made a time turner?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
To what end? I think not.
I think not. Oh, man. So is it, but then he does say, tell me he told them that I alone remained faithful. And I was like, he did.
He did actually pretty much say that.
Imagine Harry was like, he did say that.
It's like a little moment of like joy for Barty Crouch Jr. in this moment. It's like, really? Cool.
Hey, what else did he say about me?
Tell me everything.
Tell me it all.
Right.
Yes, but Harry is still back there. It's like, but you how? But how? And he's just like, oh, here you go. I'll tell you how. Who put your name in the Goblet of Fire under a name of a different school? I did. Who frightened off every person I thought might try to hurt you or prevent you from winning the tournament? I did. Who nudged Hagrid into showing you the dragons? I did. Who helped you see the only way you could beat the dragons? I did. It's just like, oh man. All of a sudden you're just like, no.
It all works way too well. And it's like, yeah. So then we get like it hasn't been easy, Harry, guiding you through these tasks without arousing suspicion. I've had to use every ounce of cunning I possess. And it's like, that's
Facts.
major Slytherin energy.
Yeah.
so that my hand would not be detectable in your success. Dumbledore would have been very suspicious if you had managed everything too easily.
Managed everything too easily? Psh, he got the firebolt and the gillyweed. It was like super easy.
he totally killed it. Yeah. Oh man. As long as you got into that maze, preferably with a decent head start, then I knew I would have a chance of getting rid of the other champions and leaving your way clear. But I also had to contend with your stupidity.
Yeah. I got to throw in a quick jab there.
And Harry's just like, hey.
I just beat Voldemort again, dude.
Right. I'm not so stupid.
Yeah.
Right. The second tax was the one I was most afraid you would fail.
Maths and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Maths. I was keeping watch on you, Potter. I knew you hadn't worked out the egg's clue, so I had to give you another hint. And then Harry's like, you didn't. It's like, Cedric gave me the clue. Who told Cedric to open it underwater? I did.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
Oh, that's where he figured it out. Because that's one of those things where like when Cedric tells Harry, it's totally believable. Cedric just figured it out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No questions asked.
Yeah. He's the older student. Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah. I do love this next line though. Decent people are so easy to manipulate, Potter.
Boy, he gets contradicted by himself like one paragraph from now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this one is fun. Oh, you're right. Yeah. With Neville and Harry.
Yes.
Well, I think this one is interesting because there are going to be even more indications that our theory on how the Imperius Curse works continues to be true. That like it's the strength of character thing, and both Harry and Cedric share this in such a big way. Yeah. Because like as much manipulation as he's done, at no point in time did he Imperius Harry and have him go and just open the egg underwater.
Right.
You know, like it's like he can't Imperius Cedric to get him to tell Harry how to do it. It's like he has to trust that the good person will do what the good person thing is going to do.
Right.
Because he can't do it through the dark magic way.
Oh man, he doesn't even do it to Neville.
That's true.
Also doubt he could.
Yeah, doubt it.
Doubt it.
Although we have seen
Actually,
Neville,
no, I'm sorry.
We have seen him do it to
Neville.
Neville. Yeah. Oh, good thing we caught ourselves.
Yeah.
All the comments were about
to be like that. Yeah.
Rather astonishing gymnastics. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what it says?
Yes. He would not have otherwise been able to perform.
Yes. We know our things sometimes.
You remember stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Let's see here. Then there's a couple of funny lines, I think, where it says, I was watching all the time, all those hours in the library. Didn't you realize that the book you needed was in your dormitory all along? And it's like, obviously not.
I know. Like, he's like, I know Neville has that book, but I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to like ask him to borrow it or anything. I'm sure it's in there, but whatever.
Right. Magical water plants in the Mediterranean. Good piece of trivia. Always a hard one to remember.
Yep.
It would have told you that all you needed to know about was gillyweed. And it's like, apparently this was a terrible decision because apparently it's the only book that has any information about how to breathe underwater.
Apparently.
Right.
Yeah. But then he says, I expected you to ask everyone and anyone you could for help. You have a streak of pride and independence that might have ruined all. So right there, he just said nice people or decent people are so easy to manipulate, but he fails to manipulate Harry in this way.
Right.
And then he says it's because of his streak of independence that might have ruined all. But what he's describing is Harry's sense of fairness and not cheating.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So, in fact, the decent person was not easy to manipulate.
In your face, bad guy.
But of course he can't be wrong, so he has to twist it and say it's Harry's pride or whatever.
That's exactly right.
And then I have to tell you, his next move is maybe the luckiest thing that happens to him all year.
I completely agree. It's like this one is it's a reach.
Yeah,
it's a reach. You told me at the Yule Ball a house elf called Dobby had given you a Christmas present. And so he goes, this is his plan. He's like, okay, the house elf gave Harry a present. I can work with that. I am going to call him into the teacher's lounge to clean some robes. While there, I'm going to talk loudly about gillyweed and make the assumption that Dobby cares so much about Harry that he will listen to what I have said and deliver him stolen goods from Snape's office so he can breathe underwater.
Yes.
And it works.
Yeah. And I'm like, you don't even know the relationship between Dobby and Harry is.
Right.
I mean, I guess he has enough of a relationship with Winky that maybe he's like, if you're exchanging gifts with the elf, it's because like that elf is really attached to you.
That's probably a very good point. That's probably a very good point. Yeah, like he does have the unique position of having lived very closely with Winky.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then I think there's a neat little setup. I won't totally give it away yet, but Harry looks over at the faux glass and he can see foggy shapes moving in it.
Yeah.
On the wall. And so that's sort of just like letting you, the reader, know that someone is like coming, but it's sort of that classic, like, who will get there first? Will his monologue be done faster than it takes for the incoming people to save Harry?
Right.
Effectively.
Yeah. Yes. I think the little, I think it's the little verbal irony here. It says, "As you were so long in that lake, Potter, I thought you would drown, but luckily Dumbledore took your idiocy for nobility and marked you high for it. I breathed again." And I was like, just like Harry underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what he couldn't do.
Right.
Yeah.
You had an easier time than you should in that maze tonight, of course, said Moody. This one, I think, is the one that really like starts to put on display maybe like how impressive it is that Cedric makes it so far.
Yeah.
At the same speed.
Right.
Because like he is running into all of the barriers the maze had to offer.
Right.
And Harry isn't. And they still make it to the end at the same time. And of course, that's like even like one of those things where it's like, gosh, if Cedric knew, like his whole thing is sort of like, you take it. And then Harry's like, together. And he's like, okay. You know, and it's like, it's because they're sort of trading like well, you told me about the dragons. Well, you told me about the egg. We're even. And it's like, from Cedric's standpoint, he's like, so what did you run into in the maze? Maybe we should go through that scorecard.
Let's do that.
Because I had a whole bunch of stuff.
I got a bunch of stuff, man. There was an entire chess set. There was some venomous spectacular, 3-headed dog.
Yeah. Did you know you have to play music for those things? I didn't either. I just guessed.
I didn't know he's dead now. I killed him.
Cedric killed Fluffy.
Cedric killed Fluffy in the maze.
Oh, man. Well, Voldemort didn't get him.
Dumbledore just employs all of the Sorcerer's Stone obstacles into the maze.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Like, we just had them lying around anyway. Use them.
Put them using there, you know?
Right.
People there's just a door at one spot, and there's a bunch of keys, and you got to go up and get them.
Right, yeah. Good thing there was a broomstick.
Yeah.
And he knows how to fly.
Yeah. Don't use that broomstick to like fly over the hedges, though. That would be like cheating. Okay?
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's Cedric. He's not going to do it.
He won't do that.
Yeah.
He has a streak of pride and independence.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. Fairness.
Yeah.
I was patrolling around it, able to see through the outer hedges. That is an interesting one where it's like, just the outer hedges, or how far in can you see?
How far? Yeah, like you could see them and blast through the maze and get rid of the obstacles. Like,
I know, yeah. It's like that seems impressive even for you.
Yeah.
Able to curse many obstacles out of your way. I stunned Florida Liqueur as she passed. I put the Imperious curse on Crumbs so that he would finish Diggory. And again, that's another one of those like lines where it's like you could have just as easily put the Imperious curse on Cedric if you could have done it.
Yeah.
And that I think is again, it just fits so well with the argument that you can't.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. With that. And then let's see, Harry stared at Moody. He just didn't see how this could be. It made no sense at all. And it's just like nothing about this computes. And it's like, because you're still missing the key information that it's not actually Mad-Eye Moody.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we get another little nudge here that the foggy shapes in the faux glass were sharpening. So we're getting a little bit closer. But then we get this line that's like, the Dark Lord didn't manage to kill you, Potter, and he so wanted to. Imagine Imagine how he will reward me when he finds out I have done it for him.
Do you think he would reward him?
I don't, actually.
I don't think he would either.
I think this is him missing the cue a little bit. It's like, because even when Harry is running after Priori Incantatem, like Voldemort is calling everybody else off. He's like, he's mine.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Voldemort wants somebody else.
If someone else kills Harry and it's Barty Crouch Jr. and he's already like put him up on a pedestal, everyone else might be like, that guy killed Harry Potter. Harry just defeated Voldemort and that guy killed him. Like, maybe we should be following him.
Once again.
Yeah.
So Barty Crouch Jr. basically had like, he was on the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
He's working his way up.
Going up, just like dear old dad, working up through the ministry.
He started in the mailroom and now look at him. He's like,
he's impersonating people, doing great dark wizard things.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. He's going to be Chief Dark Lord any day now.
Any day now.
Yeah.
Death Eater #1.
That's it. But yeah, so yeah, he's in this. You can even tell that he's just got severe daddy issues as well, because he says, "I will be his dearest, his closest supporter, closer than a son."
Yeah, I know. It's
like,
just like,
is that
dude?
is that what you want?
Is that what you want?
Is that what this? Is that what this whole thing's been
That's
about?
what this is about. You want Volta Daddy over there?
Oh, I hate that.
I know.
Volta Daddy.
Volta, yeah. Pretty much pretty gross. But then he says the Dark Lord and I, and then he compares how similar they are, which is interesting because, well, I think this is interesting. He talks about how similar him and Voldemort are, but then like Harry spent a lot of Chamber of Secrets thinking about how similar Harry and Voldemort are also.
I had that same thought, yeah, and that is very interesting. But it even seems like as you scoot forward, like I think the Grey Lady will even say that like Harry and Tom Riddle share things in common. And you're right. I mean, Chamber of Secrets is a big one. Like you both have like the orphan boys who are sort of like, you know, finding themselves at home for the first time at Hogwarts. Like they do have their own pieces in common. But maybe like more innocent early origin type things and less of the really terrible killing your own father kind of things.
Yeah. Yes. But you know what? I think I was thinking about this as I was going through the chapter, is that there are a lot of similarities between Barty Crouch Jr. and Harry, at least. It feels to me like maybe Barty Crouch Jr. is supposed to represent like what Harry might have been if he like went dark, like how, because Harry himself is pretty cunning himself. Like, you know, he could have been in Slytherin, but like as we go through the story here, as he starts telling Dumbledore what happened under the Veritaserum, you can kind of see like Barty Crouch Jr. is like, he uses a lot of Harry's same tricks, but in really nefarious ways.
Okay.
Like he uses the Polyjuice potion. Right. Harry did that.
Yep.
But Harry's doing it to try and like stop a bunch of murders, where Barty Crouch Jr. is using it to cause one.
Right.
In particular. And he even kills his dad. He also has the Marauder's map, which Harry has. Right. And Harry uses it like to, you know, avoid trouble and to, you know, break school rules and go to Hogsmeade and have fun and check on his loved one, watch Ginny at school,
right?
Follow Draco around obsessively.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. But like Barty Crouch Jr. again uses it to help him lie to people.
Yep.
And stuff like that. And then Barty Crouch Jr. also has an invisibility cloak.
Also
which
true.
Similarly, he's using that to like sneak around and like remain hidden and like double back on Dumbledore and stuff like that. But Harry, as you know, Dumbledore says, uses his to like protect other people and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's like you can see like they have a lot of the same tools. Even down to like the way like their moms treat them. You know, it's like his mom wanted him to be like free. Like she knows she's dying, so she goes to Azkaban and switches places with him. So like she sort of like, you know, doesn't die for him, I suppose, but she sacrifices.
She's able to use her life to give him freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is what Lily does for Harry.
For Harry, you're right.
Sense. I don't think Barty Crouch, or I don't think his mom cast sacrificial protection on him or anything like that.
No. But, I think that would be a reach, and I don't think that James is as bad as Barty Senior.
Not at all.
In terms of character. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know that like even if it's not to say that like James and Lily, had they survived, would have produced the next Barty Crouch Jr. in Harry or anything like that. But I do see what you mean. Like maybe under different circumstances, they're kind of like mirrors of one another, but like one's light and one's dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. This is like if like Voldemort swayed Harry in Philosopher's Stone and got him to join him, Harry could go on to be just like one of like his deadliest weapons.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Almost certainly, like, you know, Harry is going to be more competent than a lot of the other people who join the ranks of Death Eater, who are most often doing it like either out of fear or to like, I think that Dumbledore gives like a whole list of reasons that like people do join his ranks.
Right.
And sometimes it's just like more curated styles of like, their own form of antagonizing others. Like there's like a list of things that he sort of like breaks down. But I feel like if Harry did it, it would be like almost like because he's got like his own ambition.
Right.
Like he would be good at it.
Right.
But in a way that we don't want.
Right. Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you on that front.
Yeah. Let's see here. So then Harry finally goes on to say, and it's kind of ironic because he says, "You're mad." Harry said he couldn't stop himself. "You're mad." "Mad am I," said Moody, his voice rising uncontrollably. We'll see who's mad now that the Dark Lord has returned with me at his side." And it's funny because he's using like mad, like
right, like
Mad-Eye Moody.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, but no, like,
no.
It's literally like it's about to come undone. "Harry Potter, you did not conquer him, and now I conquer you." And then at that moment, basically all wands are raised. It's about to happen when stupefy. There's a blinding flash of red light with a great splintering and crashing. The door of Moody's office was blasted apart. Moody was thrown backwards onto the office floor. Harry, still staring at the place where Moody's face had been, saw Albus Dumbledore, Professor Snape, and Professor McGonagall looking back at him out of the faux glass. That is the moment that I think if you are reading this series in real time and you're going through and trying to like determine things, I think this proves that Snape is not on Voldemort's side.
I mean, I literally wrote down the same thing I said, because what you would see in the faux glass is people who are foes of Barty Crouch Jr.
Exactly.
And Snape is one of those foes. And Barty Crouch Jr. has just declared that he and Voldemort are going to conquer the world, and he's back with me at his side, and I'm going to kill Harry Potter. And like, if Snape was on his side, he should remain blurry in the faux glass.
Exactly. Yes, you should not be able to see, like, because otherwise Snape's not your adversary.
Yeah.
You would probably not see any shadow for him at all. You would just only see McGonagall or Dumbledore.
In fact, it's going to double down later on the page where it says Snape followed him, looking into the faux glass where his own face was still visible, glaring into the room.
Yep.
It's like it doesn't draw attention to that for either of the other two, for McGonagall or Dumbledore. So it's like I think that sentence is there. It's supposed to be like, yeah, see, Snape, good guy.
Yes, exactly. But this is, again, one of those moments, too, where you also see Dumbledore in a completely different context than we normally do at all. Dumbledore in front, his wand outstretched, which even just that, like, it's so rare that those words are lined up. Because, like, it's so infrequent that we get to see Dumbledore, like, in combat mode, so to speak. And so it says, at that moment, Harry fully understood for the first time why people said Dumbledore was the only wizard Voldemort had ever feared. The look upon Dumbledore's face as he stared down at the unconscious form of Mad-Eye Moody was more terrible than Harry ever could have imagined. And this is where I guess you kind of realize that, like, Dumbledore, for all of his goodness, all of his kind of like quirkiness, is formidable, is intense, is powerful.
Oh yeah, I mean, and then you get more of the Phoenix imagery where it says there was cold fury in every line of the ancient face. A sense of power radiated from Dumbledore as though he were giving off burning heat.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So, phoenixes are obviously associated with fire, burst into flames when they die.
Right.
And are reborn from the ashes. So there you go.
Yep. I literally wrote the exact same thing. Just like burning heat, like a phoenix. Yep. He stepped into the office, placed a foot underneath Moody's unconscious body, and kicked him over onto his back.
Kicked him.
That's like, whoa, okay.
Hey.
Snape followed him, looking into the faux glass where his own face was still visible, glaring into the room. Professor McGonagall went straight to Harry.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy scene. Once again, Sprout nowhere to be seen.
Or Flitwick. Come on.
Right.
Maybe we'll give Sprout the benefit of the doubt, and she's down there with Amos.
Right.
And Mrs. Diggory.
Right. She's like, I'm so sorry I've been absent all year. Maybe if I'd been there, something could have been different.
Yeah. Oh, did I help Cedric? No, I didn't.
None. Yeah.
Not even a little.
Right. What was the words that we just used? The streak of independence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cedric, great kid, real streak of pride and independence in that one.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't have helped him if I wanted to.
Right.
Yeah. So let's see. So then Dumbledore demands that Harry stay in the room to hear what's going to happen. He says, understanding is the first step to acceptance, and only with acceptance can there be recovery. So I feel like those are pretty wise words by Dumbledore right there.
I mean, really, yeah, truly. Because I think that, like, you've got the stages of grief, and the stages of grief cap off with acceptance.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he knows in this moment that it's sort of like, and he's going to say the same thing in the next chapter as well, where it's like, if I could give you a sleeping draft that would help, like I would do it in a heartbeat, but it's not going to help. Like we need to get through this. Like we need to do it. Like that's what's going to help you like move on to be prepared essentially for the next steps.
Yeah.
Which is the other big thing that Dumbledore knows lies before Harry is a long path. Like it's not over yet.
Not by a long shot. But then he reveals that how he knows that it's not Alistair Moody. He said, the moment he took you, I knew and I followed. Obviously from quite a distance, though. It's like, we weren't exactly standing at the door, were you, Dumbledore?
Right. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Me and Granger, we were doing our best.
Yeah. You guys were fast. I mean, he's got a wooden leg. Yours is hurt, but like, I mean, come on, I'm old, you know?
That's it.
Hermione back here dragging me down.
She's just not that quick.
He's not that fast.
That's a throwback to Prisoner of Azkaban in case I forgot about that joke, because it has been a while now that we're
It was also at the beginning of Goblet Ben when she couldn't get up the hill.
That's true. That's true. So it's been like 33 chapters ago. Yeah. Since we were last there.
I love the instructions he gives to McGonagall there. He says, go down to Hagrid's house where you'll find a large black dog sitting in the pumpkin patch. Take the dog up to my office and tell him I will be with him shortly.
Then come back here. Although it's kind of perfect to have McGonagall do it. Like, I wonder if she's sort of like, it's definitely not a dog because she's also an animagus.
Oh, well, she for sure knows that it can't be just a dog.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you gotta love the line. If either Snape or McGonagall found these instructions peculiar, they hit their confusion.
Yeah.
I don't think that they do, though. I think that this is probably where McGonagall and Snape really are probably two of Dumbledore's highest trusted allies as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Both turned at once and left the office. Dumbledore walked over to the trunk with 7 locks and fitted the first key into the lock. And this is where we kind of get to see like that piece from the cover art open up all the way. And it's sort of a neat invention where it's like each time you open and close like a different lock, you get something different inside.
Yeah. It is the exact same thing Newt Scamander is doing with his own briefcase.
You're right.
At the beginning of Fantastic Beasts.
Right. Another Dumbledore ally.
Yes, another Dumbledore ally with another fancy briefcase. This one, I can't imagine. I mean, I'm wondering how big the room that Mad-Eye Moody, the real one, is in, like at the bottom of the briefcase. Or at the bottom of the suitcase.
I know, yeah. Like it almost seems to me, and like I know that this is probably thinking like a little bit too much about like what it would be like to contain a human being. But like in my mind, Moody's a pretty powerful wizard, and Barty Crouch Jr. himself knows that the Imperious Curse can be fought.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like by putting him in a circumstance that was too uncomfortable would probably further drive somebody to try to overcome their circumstances. So like, in my mind, it's like maybe it is more of like a room than like what the movie depicts, which is just sort of like a
shaft.
Like a shaft. Yeah. It's like a place for him to like sit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does say that there's a room down there.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, if you remember at the beginning of Fantastic Beasts, Newt has a little switch on the front of his briefcase where he can like and then like switch over to Muggle mode or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, but then he switches it back over and there's a whole basement down there, a whole zoo, a whole menagerie, if you will.
That is like one of those details where I feel like the further the movies went, the more they were just like, yeah, we could just keep stretching it. It could just keep getting bigger.
It's huge in there. Who's to say? Yeah. It's also likely the same spell Hermione has on her handbag in Deathly Hallows.
Oh, yes. Good point. Yeah. I wonder if Hermione's using like a rather rudimentary version of it, or if you like dove into her handbag, if you'd be like, whoa.
You can like walk around in here. Oh my goodness.
Right. I guess also it's what the tent is doing.
It's also what the tent is doing. Yes. Right. Undetectable expansion charm. Is that what it is?
I believe so.
Yeah. I don't know why it has to be undetectable, but okay. Let's see. So yeah, that's the case as we get key by key, lock by lock, and then eventually we get to Mad-Eye Moody himself, the real Mad-Eye Moody. And you get some interesting facts here. It says like, they would have had to have kept him alive. Of course. I guess he's been keeping him under control via the stunning spell and the Imperious Curse. So I imagine also probably that it's just dark down there. Like I cannot imagine how the actual Mad-Eye Moody climbs out of the situation and resumes any form of normalcy or sanity at all.
Yeah, I mean, especially like if he was already in a situation where people kind of thought that he was like a little like like Harry Carey and his reactions to things. Like, I mean, he's effectively been like in, like a major, like, deprivation prisoner situation. Like, and for the better part of, what are we going on now? Like 10 months? Like,
something like that.
It's pretty severe.
I mean, he's been, locked in a trunk in effectively just a dark room where he's been either stunned or imperious for, like 10 months.
Right.
Like, I mean, with one leg and one eye.
Right.
Like, I mean, solitary confinement is already something that's like really
cruel and unusual.
Kind of cruel and unusual. And that's for like, short periods of time.
Yeah.
This is like 10 months and like without even lights,
I know. Yeah. That's it's really terrible.
I don't know. Maybe the Imperious curse makes it so that it's like, you're not really in your own head. It's just sort of like fuzzy or something.
Right.
I don't know. That's all I can think. I can't believe he gets out of this thing and is just like, yeah, I guess I'll go right back to doing what I do.
I'll just take up arms again.
Let's see. And now Dumbledore is really starting to get to it. He figures out that it's Polyjuice potion, and you see the simplicity of it, the brilliance. For Moody never does drink from his hip flask. He's well known for it. It's like, is he? All right, okay. The imposter needed, of course, to keep the real Mad Eye close, so he'd continue making the potion. You see his hair. This, it would be a line that people would point to that says you have to have hair harvested from a living person in order for the Polyjuice potion to work.
Yep.
Like, as opposed to like digging up a dead body or something and like transforming into a dead person.
Sure.
Yeah. Which I think we made a video about this and I cannot remember where we landed on it.
I know. Yeah. It's a very tricky one. I mean, to me, it seems like there's no obvious reason for Barty Crouch Jr. to keep him alive unless he has to.
Well, he's going to say that he like wanted to keep interviewing him to get his mannerisms down. But like certainly by now he's pretty much got it.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so. Yeah. Yeah. But it is also interesting as well that like I think the excitement of tonight, our fake Moody may have forgotten to take it as frequently as he should have done on the hour, every hour. We shall see. It's kind of an interesting one because nothing has actually proven otherwise yet. Like,
yeah,
as far as we know, he's still just in the form of Moody. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if you don't say that, it's like every hour on the hour, it's like, and if he didn't, then it'll just be a little bit longer. We have to wait.
True. Yes, exactly. Right. Yep. Then before Harry's eyes, the face of the man on the floor began to change. The scars were disappearing. The skin became smooth. The mangled nose became whole and started to shrink. The long mane of grizzled gray hair was withdrawing into the scalp and turning into the color of straw.
Straw. That's your real first clue.
It's like, oh wait, straw.
Straw.
I remember a kid with straw hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, straw-colored hair, rather. Suddenly, with a loud clunk, the wooden leg fell away as the normal leg regrew. This is like one of those like weird questions where it's sort of like, you have to wonder as well whether or not Moody is just going through this experience like every night when he goes to sleep, where it's like, this sounds terrible.
Terrible.
Like, I mean, not that I'm feeling any sympathy for, what Barty Crouch Jr. is going through, but it's like, it seems like these 10 months would be extremely challenging for him as well.
Yeah.
Just to keep up the facade.
Yep. Yeah. And so then the eye pops out and it says it continues to swivel in every direction. And my question here is like, it's swiveling, but is anyone seeing out of it in this moment?
I know that
it seems like it's looking around.
It seems like it's looking around like maybe of its own accord.
Yeah.
But like, what is it trying to take in? Yeah. Or who is it sending the information to?
Right.
This is like one of those where, like in Deathly Hallows, we know that Umbridge is obviously using the eye inside of her door, and she's using it like as a way to like keep an eye on all of her employees.
Yeah,
it's like a part of me almost interprets it as if like she can see what they're doing even when she's not there. But I feel like you've asserted before that like maybe it's more of just like she can just use it as like a peephole.
That's what I've assumed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that one's just like a little bit open to interpretation. We don't have great specifics about it, but yeah, because even when Moody takes his eye out and drops it like in a cup of water at the Dursleys, and he says that like it's never fit quite right after, that scum word or whatever. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's whizzing around in the cup of water as well.
That's true.
So, I mean, either the eye has its own version of sentience or the magic that created it is unique in some other way.
The eye continues to be mysterious and important.
Yes.
Yeah.
just like the work is.
So the work is mysterious and important.
little Severance reference for you guys. Okay, so what do we got next?
Next, Snape recognizes him first, that it is Crouch, Barty Crouch, to which you might not even realize. You might think, wait, like senior? But no, he has clarified already that he killed his father, that they had the same name. So this is Barty Crouch Jr. You're just having to do the math and figure out that his son is named the same as him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So I guess he even said that I had the same name as my father. So
right.
Yeah,
right.
Just to clarify that for you.
Yep.
And then Winky comes in and she really does it for you. Says, Master Barty, what is you doing here? What happened?
Right. You has killed him. You has killed Master's son. He is simply stunned, Winky, said Dumbledore. Step aside, please. Severus, you have the potion.
Why does he bring Winky up here at all?
Maybe just to confirm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more just for plot convenience to give you a little bit of a different person's perspective on what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I don't know that it's strictly speaking necessary. But then of course we use the Veritaserum and the spell Renervate, which is a little piece of trivia there. That's how you wake someone up after being stupefied. And then Dumbledore seems to have kind of taken back control of the situation, because it says, I would like you to tell us, said Dumbledore softly, how you came to be here. How did you escape from Azkaban?
Yes. And then so we start to get the story here. It says, my mother saved me. She knew I was dying. She persuaded my father to rescue me as a last favor to her. And it says she knew she was dying. Okay, it's going to go on to say, my mother died, the Dementors are blind. They sensed one healthy, one dying person entering Azkaban. They sensed one healthy, one dying person leaving it. Meaning that he's the dying person leaving it. So I guess he's been so affected by the Dementors that he is it feels like he's dying.
That is what my take on it has to be. Yes, because it says as well that Winky nursed him back to health.
Yeah.
Upon exiting, which I think that's the right interpretation. That basically by being in Azkaban, he was being badly damaged by it and needed to be pulled back up. I guess.
But then this sentence always bothers me. It says, my mother died a short while afterward in Azkaban. She was careful to drink Polyjuice Potion until the end. Because how much did she have? How much could they have possibly left her with? Or when he says died a short while afterward, does he mean the next day?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a super fair question, because it doesn't seem like it could be, but so much. Yeah. I suppose if the Dementors are blind, maybe a lot more of the removal of magical artifact type things happens. Your wand is removed from you and you're sent in there just sort of in your prison jumpsuit or whatever they're wearing. I'm kind of picturing the wanted poster for Sirius Black. But it could be the case that even the fact that Sirius could transform into a dog, the Dementors aren't really interfering with that action.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I it could just be the case that it's sort of because you've got somebody as high ranking as Barty Crouch Sr. there, that it's sort of they could have just rolled in a cart full of materials for her to have in her cell.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
It's maybe that's just unusual otherwise.
Right. But it's there's got to be some kind of screening process. Otherwise, anyone who comes to visit, which I guess maybe, he's only able to visit because he's such a high ranking officer, could just bring materials that could help them escape or something or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. I mean, and it's I guess contraband in traditional prisons is almost always
a thing.
Always a thing. It finds its way in there somehow.
Finds its way in. Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. It could be the same thing, but I agree with you. It's kind of a strange one. We also get another piece of lore about Polyjuice Potion that it says she was buried under my name and bearing my appearance, which means that if you were to die under Polyjuice Potion, you stay in the form of the person you're polyjuiced into.
Yep.
Unless they buried her very quickly.
Right. Yeah. They're someone died. Let's go. Come on, Dementors, get the shovels out.
That's right. Everybody get your favorite shovel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I guess it could be the other one where if you had wizards who had wands, we know Harry, hand digs the grave for Dobby. But if you could just point your wand and be zoop, body, zoop,
Maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Maybe it's not that big a deal.
I mean, the other thing that I still think it just must mean like that Polyjuice leaves you in that form.
No,
even
I think
in
you're
death.
right. Yeah.
Because it also, we've already just clarified that Dementors are blind.
Yeah.
So it's like, if somebody just died and they just went out to like bury her, like they wouldn't know that she looked any different.
Right.
Like, at least for the purposes of Dementors, not,
Right.
Yeah.
So then he says that when he gets home, Winky nurses him back to health. And when I had recovered my strength, I thought only of finding my master, of returning to his service. Which is just like crazy. It's crazy to me that he's been in there for like a year and he's like near death and he is like still has this single mindset of Voldemort. Like must return to him, must help him, must return to service.
Yeah. I mean, what do you figure is driving this? Because like, I mean, it seems
daddy
like
issues.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. Is that it's like, it almost, it's like he's back at like under his father's, like, I don't know, rule.
Yeah.
Effectively. And so what more than kind of like coming to feeling like yourself again and being like, this is where I hate to be, than be like, I want to go back to where I want to be.
Right.
Which would obviously be Voldemort.
Even though this guy just got him out of prison. But he did put him under the Imperious Curse, which is rich because he's throwing people into Azkaban like left and right for these kind of crimes. And he's doing them himself. So bit of hypocrisy there.
Yep.
But I guess we also know that he is the one who authorized the use of unforgivable curses against the Death Eaters.
Right. So maybe he just feels like he's within his jurisdiction to do so.
Yeah.
It's almost surprising to me that he's as clever as to have Barty Jr. wear the invisibility cloak day and night, because it's sort of like you would generally expect that nobody would be at your house to like witness such a thing. But like it is a good precaution, at least until it isn't, because when Bertha Jorkins shows up, she's ultimately going to hear Winky talking to somebody and surmise that there's somebody there under an invisibility cloak.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of like the precaution is necessary in the end.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I guess Barty Croucher just opened the door for anybody, He's like, oh, someone run by?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
How could this backfire? Oh, Bertha, you saw my son. Hate to do this. Obliviate.
Right.
Oh, who's that? Who could that possibly be? Probably not the Dark Lord and his servant. Oh my God.
It totally is. Darn it.
I gotta stop answering the door.
Gotta stop that.
Jeez.
Yep.
Gotta get one of them Ring doorbell things.
Every pure blood wizarding house needs one.
Oh man. So yeah, then we find out that Bertha Jorkins stopped by his house in the world's other most convenient thing ever for Voldemort.
Yes.
And obviously Barty Crouch Sr. can't have that, so he puts a very powerful memory charm on her. Way too powerful, though, and it damages her memory, which then sort of explains like why she's so forgetful and why everyone's like, oh, Bertha. She'll get back when she gets back, I guess.
But it seems like it's a weird thing to have happen, because you're right. Like, I think it does help explain some amount of like her forgetfulness, or maybe it even explains how Wormtail was able to like woo her, which is such an uncomfortable thing.
Forgot that he was just a creepy monster person.
Right.
Yeah.
Like actively while in the conversation.
Well, through conversation, she's like, I don't like this person. What'd you say? That was nice. Oh, wait, this guy's totally a creep. Oh, that's sort of flirty. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what I imagine is sort of happening inside of the situation. But like Syria seems to refer to her as having been an idiot, like all the way back to like her school time.
Yeah.
And I think even like when Dumbledore's like looking at Bertha Jorkins in the Pensieve, it seems like he is even like remembering a time where he's like asking Bertha Jorkins like, but why, Bertha? Why would you do it in the first place?
Yeah.
Like it seems like she was just sort of like a problematic person, like in not the most obvious way, but in some way.
She was just kind of like ditzy is what it sounds like.
Maybe so.
But like she says she's like an idiot. Like she made bad decisions, but it sounds like she had a good memory because like she liked to gossip.
Right. Yeah. So maybe her priorities were just all in the wrong
just
space.
Very social person,
Right.
Heading down to Albania for some fun times, I guess.
Everybody loves to hit up Albania.
You know it.
Yeah.
Actually, I have no idea. Maybe it's a very nice place.
I think there's some beautiful forests in the country of Albania.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's only a few cursed objects.
Just a few of those. And one really large former woman/snake.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we get the question about the Quidditch World Cup, and then we kind of get like this interesting piece of information because it's Winky who talks Barty Crouch Sr. into it. This is sort of like the treats that Winky convinces Senior to occasionally give to Junior for good behavior.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
Yeah, good behavior. He can't do anything about it.
Right. Yeah, he's under the Imperious Curse. So it's like, what do you mean? Like continuing to be under the Imperious Curse? Like that's his good behavior?
Guess so.
But she spent months persuading Senior to allow Junior to go because he had formerly loved Quidditch. And that's kind of like one of the interesting things too, because Hermione is under the impression that Barty Sr. forced Winky into the top box. But when you hear it through this perspective, it sounds like Winky pleaded with him to be able to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Winky doesn't like heights, which Barty Sr. or Barty Jr. rather will bring up here in just a second as a way to get the wand, because Winky's not paying attention because she is frightened of heights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess the reasoning that finally works on Crouch Sr. is that his wife had not, given up her freedom so that her son could be imprisoned. It'd be so that he could have a life of freedom. And I guess he's like, why'd you have to bring up my wife, Winky, or whatever. But I cannot believe he agrees to do this and like let him out in public. It's like, it's not even like let him out in public. It's like let him out in the most crowded wizarding environment in the world.
Most crowded wizarding environment in the world. And then also in like the most, it's the top box. It's the one where like all of the ministers are going. Like,
exactly.
This is like the space where it's like, maybe not this room.
Yeah.
Maybe any other.
Maybe your hyper dangerous son should be like, in one of the lower seats.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Why's it got to be up here?
Not necessarily that it would be better to put other people in danger or anything like that, but it would just be surprising from somebody who's obsessed with security to create such a security risk.
Yes. And it goes about as poorly as it could, because he steals a wand, Harry Potter's wand.
Yes.
Nearly breaks free. Yeah. Casts the dark mark into the sky. Anyway. But let's see. And then he says, but Winky didn't know I was growing stronger. I was starting to fight my father's Imperious Curse. There were times when I was almost myself again. So it's like, if you're keeping track with our whole Imperious Curse thing, it's like you're supposed to have like strength of character to be able to fight it. Obviously, Barty Crouch Jr. has next to no character at all.
Correct.
So it has taken him all of 13 years to do this?
Yes.
Yeah. To finally start breaking it. And he's like, he didn't know I was growing stronger. And it's like, well, it took you long enough, dude. Because on the flip side, even though Barty Crouch Sr. is not a great guy, he is able to start breaking free of Voldemort's Imperious Curse in less than a year.
Yes.
Which by comparison, pretty good. Next to Harry, pretty terrible.
Right. Who does it like on his fourth try?
Fourth try.
Yeah,
well, when Voldemort casts it, does it like in like 5 seconms.
Right. Yeah. He's
just like, I won't.
Yeah, exactly. In front of all of his friends too.
Very embarrassing.
Very embarrassing for Dumbledore. Or Voldemort. Oh my gosh. I have gotten into this terrible habit of confusing the names Dumbledore and Voldemort in my brain. It's like I'm
one
sure
of them's right.
It's got to be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
Yes. So then he sees a wand sticking out of a boy's pocket. So he doesn't actually realize it's Harry Potter's wand he stole.
Right.
He's just like, hey, free wand.
Right.
I stole it.
Master Barty, you bad boy.
I hate that sentence. You bad boy, Mrs. Barty Jr.
Yes, it's so uncomfy.
Yes, it is. But then they go back to the tent. Then they hear the Death Eaters, the ones who had never been to Azkaban, the ones who had never suffered from my master. They turned their backs on him. They were not enslaved as I was. They were free to seek him, but did not. So he is so mad that the Death Eaters there, because from his point of view, it's like, you all could have broken me out so much sooner. You could have saved me. You could have brought Voldemort back.
The timing of this, though, is also just so convenient when it really boils down to it, because now you've got an instance where you've got like basically there's Wormtail, who went to find Voldemort, which has already happened as of the Quidditch World Cup. There is exactly one other wizard who is desperately trying to get back to the Dark Lord, who is in the process of overcoming his Imperious Curse, while at the same time, all of Voldemort's other followers are actively like going on parade. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of like, wow. What are the odds of that? Like that there are two separate Death Eater related incidents in the same night and they are not coordinated.
Right.
Which is Barty Crouch Jr. shooting the Dark Mark and all of the other Death Eaters basically just playing smart.
Well, they're not
with
coordinated, but one is a reaction to the other.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. So one doesn't happen without the other. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But so then he uses Harry's wand to cast the Dark Mark. He says Winky used her own brand of magic to bind me to her, which is just another example of everyone underestimating house elves magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And this actually does kind of go back to that like interesting incident, like where you're listening to Winky walk through the forest, and it sounds like at the time she like almost as if she's like tethered to something invisible. I think is the actual phrasing that we get inside of that chapter, and it's like that is exactly
it.
What's going on.
Yes. But then we find out that when the Dark Mark goes up, all those Ministry wizards cast the stunning spells, and they in fact do hit Winky and Barty Crouch Jr. They are both stunned, but now they are no longer connected because of the stunning. So he realizes that like, oh my gosh, if I found Winky, then it's like, again, super lucky that it's Barty Crouch Sr. of all people who finds them in the woods.
Yes. Yep, yeah, absolutely. Because he effectively finds him under the invisibility cloak and is sort of like, yep, no one's there. It's all good. Just the house elf.
Yep.
And then, obviously like is able to kind of get through the rest of the evening and then just go back later to eventually collect his son. But because of this mishap, he of course has to then fire Winky because she has been discovered having failed in front of lots of people, and it's going to look bad if he doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So then it's just Barty Jr. and his father in the house. And then this is when finally Voldemort shows up to collect him.
Yeah. Knocks on the door. Who's that?
Ring camera.
Yeah. If only Barty Crouch Sr. had a ring camera, he might have known it was Wormtail and Voldemort at the door.
If only. If only.
Yep.
That's the new campaign coming to you from the Ring Doorbell Company.
Yep. But he didn't. And so he immediately gets imperious himself. And now the shoe is really on the other foot because now he's the one imprisoned. It's not going here. This says it was very quick. My father was placed under the Imperious curse and I was released. I awoke. I was myself again, alive as I hadn't been in years. So that must be quite a feeling for him to be like, finally, like I am back.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are in business.
We doing it.
We put the band back together. Is that what's going on?
We doing it?
We doing this?
Yeah.
Wormtail, you on drums?
Yeah. Until like anyone else comes back.
Literally anybody.
Literally anybody else.
You can play drums for now, but eventually, it's probably going to take over.
He slams pretty hard back there.
That's it. Yeah.
Got those enchanted bass drums,
we call it death metal.
Death metal, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, let's see here. Then we got the whole backstory about kind of like Moody is going to be a teacher, which is information that they've learned from Bertha Jorkins. And Voldemort basically says that he's going to need a Death Eater placed as a servant at Hogwarts who can basically enact the rest of his plan and ensure that Harry ultimately will reach the Triwizard Cup, which is going to be turned into a Portkey, and deliver him to Voldemort.
Yeah. He also says that he asked whether I was ready to risk everything for him. I was ready. It was my dream, my greatest ambition to serve him, to prove myself to him, which is just more big daddy issue energy right there. Okay.
I'm sure at some point in time, Voldemort must have used the old, like, you want to go out in the backyard and toss the ball around?
I know. He's like, I need someone to head over to Hogwarts and pose as a Mad-Eye Moody. Are you up for it, sport? What?
Now go oil your glove and put it under your bed.
Tomorrow morning, I'll show you how to cast a spell. Wow.
The perfect cast. There are 4 people in the world who got that Goofy movie reference. Anyway, you needed Alistair Moody, said Dumbledore. His blue eyes were blazing, though his voice remained calm. Wormtail and I did it. We prepared the Polyjuice potion beforehand. We journeyed to his house.
No, they didn't. It's a 6-month potion.
It takes a while.
Takes a while.
You know what, Jay? There are stores of it. It's fine.
Stores of it. Yeah, we prepared it beforehand. Right. We just whipped it right up, which it took Harry and Hermione and Ron like however long. And nope, we just do it. It's just like Slughorn. And he's like, yeah, you want me to come back to teach? Okay. And then like first day of class, I got Polyjuice. And he's like, how'd you do it that fast?
Like,
doesn't it need time to mature?
You shouldn't have had this. You shouldn't have it. But you know what? We've already introduced it as a plot device, and now we're just going to use it willy-nilly.
No, we have it. Everyone just has it all the time. You get the boom slang skin from Snape's office and just make more because whatever. You can just make it as soon as you want now, even though it was a huge obstacle earlier.
Yes. Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah. This is like one of the things that I think bothered me about the Cursed Child is that it's sort of just like, hey, you want to use Polyjuice Potion and time turners again? Because everybody's favorite plot devices?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, let's not do that. But we did. It is actually a fun show. We have to give it that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm off
It's
track.
fun to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Continue.
Well, then the man who spent 12 years as a rat and the one who spent 12 years under the Imperious Curse decide they're going to take on the best Auror in the history of the Ministry and somehow win.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We managed to subdue him just in time. Forced him into a compartment in his own magical trunk. Took some of his hair and added it to the potion. I drank it. I became Moody's double. I took his leg and his eye. I was ready to face Arthur Weasley when he arrived to sort out the muggles who had heard a disturbance. I made the dustbins move around the yard. I told Arthur Weasley I had heard intruders in my yard who had set off the dustbins. Then I packed out Moody's clothes and dark detectors, put them in the trunk with Moody, and set off for Hogwarts. I love the inclusion of the set off the dustbins in the yard. I had made the dustbins move around the yard. It's like this is such a small and non-difficult task.
Yeah.
It's like, so what, you just go out there and like kind of kick them around a little bit, or like, you know, what's going on with the dustbins?
I imagine they're just sort of like banging around off the walls or something.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, odd little things. He has quite a morning. He has to go in there, attack him, subdue him, lie about what happened, and then immediately pack up and start a new job.
Yeah. It's like, well, I've basically been like just staring off into space quietly for the better part of a decade. But yeah, sure, I can go teach a class.
You think at any point of the year he was like, you know what, this teaching gig is not bad. Like, I have a nice place to sleep. I have great benefits. The food is pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like my coworkers. You know, it's kind of rewarding teaching the kids things.
Right. I got to turn that one Malfoy kid into a ferret.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. But then we do get the further explanation that he keeps Moody alive under the Imperious Curse because he wanted to be able to question him to find out more about his past.
Well, the Imperious Curse is so powerful in this book. It is doing a lot of stuff.
It is aggressively OP. Yeah. Because it says this is basically the explanation as to how Moody was able to fool Dumbledore, is that he was just basically able to question Moody into giving him all of his like mannerisms and stuff. And it's like, Moody has such specific mannerisms is what makes it really challenging.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot to have to learn very quickly on the job, and then also like teach a whole bunch of kids and like grade papers and do all sorts of other things.
Right.
Yeah. Which and it's like, it's not even like he's just teaching the students. He's like Harry regards it as like one of the more challenging classes he's taking. Like he's teaching like a good course.
Right.
Yeah.
Harry is learning a lot.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Then the other gradients were easy. I stole boomslang skin from the dungeons. This feels reckless to me. Like all of the other things that they're able to pull off, and they can't just like get him some boomslang skin. Like he's stealing it from Snape's office. Like,
right.
That seems wholly unnecessary. But when the potions master found me in his office, I said I was under orders to search it. And one of those things that again, Snape could have easily been like, "Hey, Dumbledore, did you ask him to like search my office? Because that's kind of weird. Like you could have asked me first. You know? You could have done it yourself.
Right.
But either way, I guess he never brings it up out of pride. I don't know. Too much.
Fairness, Ben.
Yeah, fairness. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Wormtail returned to care for my master at my father's house and to keep watch over my father. So now you've got an interesting trio of people hanging out in the Crouch residence. It's Peter Pettigrew, Voldemort, and Barty Crouch Sr.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, whew, man.
Not a great place to be.
No.
So I guess that's where they're staying for most of the year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because that's like where they eventually will. They're currently letting Barty Sr. go back to the office, so we would have seen him a couple of times under the Imperious Curse, things that we pointed out earlier in the book. But then at some point in time, it's like he's starting to kind of combat it a little bit, and that's when they have to start sending in the messages. And that's when Percy's basically like getting messages from Wormtail for all intents and purposes.
Yes. Just so funny that Percy's old rat is sending him messages.
Yes, it is.
But Wormtail neglected his duty. He was not watchful enough, and my father escaped. And it's like, Wormtail, what are you doing all day, man?
He's like, they had a Nintendo Switch, man.
Yeah, like I don't know, like they had Muggle television. It was I got addicted to the soaps. I don't know.
The soaps.
I was watching my stories.
Days of Our Lives.
Dr. Drake Rabore. That's a Friends reference.
There we go. We're killing it today with the out of fandom references. But yeah, that is what happened. This is the piece of information that then Voldemort is going to send to Barty Crouch Jr. and it's going to be the eagle owl that Harry sees while he's just sort of like staring out at the forest.
Yeah, that's right.
Earlier in the series, and basically said to stop his father at all costs. So Barty Jr. waited. He used the map that he had taken from Harry Potter. The map had almost ruined everything.
And Dumbledore's like, what on earth map is this?
Right. And Harry, I imagine this is like a moment where it's like Harry kind of looks at Dumbledore and is like, my bad.
Yeah, Harry's just like, huh? What?
Which map are we talking about now?
Somebody's throwing stuff.
I don't know which map you mean. But yeah, Potter's map of Hogwarts. Potter saw me on it.
This guy's crazy, man.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't have that from you.
No, obviously. I would tell you if I had a map of that of that magnitude.
Come on, Dumbledore. How Dumbledore do you think I am?
Potter saw me stealing more ingredients for the polyjuice potion from Snape's office one night. He thought I was my father. And so, of course, that's sort of the rather convenient thing about the Marauders map. Yeah, is that it doesn't give you the junior. The junior, exactly. Yep. We have the same first name, which is like you have the same first and last name.
Yeah.
We just have the same name.
Yeah.
Not just first name. I took the map from Potter that night. I told him my father hated dark wizards. Potter believed my father was after Snape. So, of course, that fits.
That all tracks.
Yeah, as far as we were at the story at that point in time.
Snape's in there like, Harry's catching strays over there like, what? No.
I didn't do anything of the sort. Yeah.
What? Don't look at me, Snape. Stop staring at me. Stop. What? I didn't think you were a bad guy. Not me.
No way.
Yeah.
I pulled out my invisibility cloak and went to meet him. This is basically when he discovers his father entering the grounds. He was walking around the edge of the forest. Then Potter came and Crumb. I waited. I could not hurt Potter. My master needed him. Potter ran to get Dumbledore. I stunned Crumb. I killed my father. No, wailed Winky. Master Barty, what is you saying?
Yes, you killed your father. What did you do with the body? Carried it into the forest. So yeah, basically he carries it into the forest, puts on the invisibility cloak, uses the map, doubles back. This is what I was talking about earlier, how he's using all of Harry's very similar tools,
You're right.
just in more nefarious ways.
Right.
Tells Dumbledore Snape had me. So he says that I told Dumbledore Snape had told me where to come. I went back to my father's body, watched the map. When everyone was gone, I transfigured my father's body. He became a bone, and that's where we're getting our big theory that that Barty Crouch Jr. could be revived, because you do need the bone of the father specifically as part of the revival potion. He's obviously in on the plan. He would very likely know that you need that ingredient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And at this point in time, he definitely knows that you need that ingredient.
Yeah.
So I like the phrasing, he became a bone, not I made him into a bone, because it almost makes me think that he goes to transfigure him and he's sort of like, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What do we get out of this?
Like,
a bone.
A bone. Well, all right. That's interesting.
Well, I'll be.
Yeah. Yeah, and the freshly dug earth in front of Hagrid's cabin. It's lucky that none of the Nifflers dug it up the next day.
That's a good point. That's a good point. How big do you picture the bone? I always picture just kind of like a quite large bone.
I always picture it kind of like a rib,
like a rib bone, like a small bone,
like a single rib is what I've always kind of imagined. Yeah,
I guess I've always pictured more of like a dinosaur's femur. Yeah,
like a wombone.
And I think the reason is because it's like I can't imagine. I mean, and I guess there's like animagus forms where like Wormtail as like a full-grown human can become like a small rat.
Right.
But like in my mind, it's like the mass would be the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like a roughly 180-pound bone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
A dinosaur femur.
Didn't notice it.
Right. I said what I said. Yeah. There was complete silence now, except for Winky's continued sobs. Then Dumbledore said, "And tonight, I offered to carry the Triwizard Cup to the maze before dinner," whispered Barty Crouch, turning it into a portkey. "My master's plan worked. He is returned to power, and I will be honored by him beyond the dreams of wizards."
Nope.
No, you will not. You will not make it there.
Yeah.
Oh man, crazy backstory. So much to unpack. I mean, literally, I felt like my brain was having to like comb through the entirety of the 670 pages that come before this one, because there's probably a detail in every single chapter that is touched on in this one.
In this chapter where it's just like, yep, this is the one where it's like, You're pulling the strings, and suddenly you have the pretty bow. It has all officially come together.
Yes.
And it's just a nice little boom. Ha! Look at that. All the clues were there the whole time.
That's exactly it. Exactly it. But that does bring us to the end of chapter 35 and gets us excited for chapter 36, which just so happens to be my favorite number, which is also going to be the opportunity to get information outside of the nefarious plan, because this is going to be like where we get that like once a year conversation with Dumbledore and Harry, where he's sort of like, okay, I know I told you last time that I told you everything, but this time for real, I pinky promise I'm telling you everything.
Until next year.
Except
for the prophecy.
For the prophecy. Yeah.
And then I'm not going to bring up Horcruxes either. So.
Yes, exactly. So that brings us to the end of that. Jay, do you have a review for us?
I sure do. This is from C. Colette. And she says, hello, favorite siblings. I wonder if there is any chance that Tom Riddle Sr. could have married the horse riding girl Cecilia after he recovered from the love potion from Merope Gaunt. Just because Tom Riddle died with his parents doesn't mean he didn't have another family. Could there be a Voldemort half-brother out there?
Oh, dang.
I know.
Very interesting.
That'd be so weird. Because Tom Riddle Sr. is a muggle and Cecilia is a muggle, and there's no magical blood or anything.
You know what's interesting is it also feels like sequel bait to me, because there's a very distinct possibility, given this kind of family, and especially given the fact that Tom Riddle Sr. doesn't know that his son is named Tom Riddle, that you would have a muggle Tom Riddle.
Oh, you're right. There could just be another Tom Riddle.
Right. And it would be so fascinating to have a situation where especially if you're going to make a sequel, let's just say 10 years from now, where you have Ralph Fiennes come in as Ralph Fiennes to play Tom Riddle.
Right. The Muggle.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
That'd be well, because Harry could meet him. Well, I guess he'd be a lot. No, he'd probably, let's see. When would he be born? It would have been after our Tom Riddle. So he'd be an old man by the time.
Yeah. He'd be an older man, because you'd probably be dealing with Tom Riddle's born in
1926.
1926. Yeah. So, and assuming that Tom Riddle Sr. effectively went back and resumed his life.
Yeah. Let's say he resumes his life in 1926 and meets Cecilia immediately, and they fall in love. And they get married in 1927 and then have a baby, I don't know, 1928.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah, so that would give you a new Tom Riddle Jr., of course, with a different middle name. Probably Cecilia, if I had to guess. Tom Cecilia Riddle.
Tom Cecilia Riddle.
Yeah. But...
Or it could be a girl, I guess, It doesn't have to be a half-brother. It could be a half-sister out there.
True.
Yeah.
Tanya Riddle.
Tamya.
Hi, Tamya.
Hi, Tamya.
I think, okay, yes. It makes more sense. I mean, for the purposes of being
we're going to go with Tom Riddle.
We'll go with Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I think it would just be a neat little thing, because it would probably be a type of situation where it's it almost reminds me of a Game of Thrones type of plot line, where it's the king's blood, it's can live on even in the bastard sons or whatever of Baratheon. Is that what ends up happening? I think anyway, it doesn't really matter. The main thing would be that somehow, some way, an evil person would want to use what they believe to be Tom Riddle's blood,
right,
to redo something,
right? Of course, yeah, that'd be such an interesting, because he would have no, there'd be no Slytherin line in that child.
It would be missing the entire Gaunt thing.
Yeah,
but even that I think could be kind of interesting, because then it almost sets up a scenario where you've almost got a Jacob Kowalski character named Tom Riddle, who is just otherwise kind of a light-hearted Muggle man,
right?
Played by Ralph Fiennes.
Well, but if his parents were Tom Riddle as we knew him, he wasn't a great guy either.
No, certainly he wasn't.
So
but,
he's probably more of a Dudley kind of character,
potentially. Yeah, maybe.
And then of course his dad would have been murdered when he was a kid. That would have been a.
Yeah. Well, not even really a kid,
not
though.
A kid,
because
he 11 or 12 or something.
No, I think it would. Oh, wait, you're right. Because it's when he's at school. So 43.
He's 15 when he murders his parents. So if it's our timeline that we just said, he'd be 13.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, so that would be pretty impactful.
Yeah.
That would be pretty impactful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his grandparents.
And his grandparents.
Yeah.
Lose a lot of family all at once. He'd have a lot in common with Harry.
By complete mystery.
Yeah. That'd be weird.
Yes, it would.
That would even make an interesting thing for someone like Harry to explain to someone like Tom.
Right.
The Muggle.
The Muggle.
Oh man, fun stuff. Great question too.
Yeah,
I can't believe we've never contemplated that before.
I know. I love the idea that there's like another riddle out there.
It's just like
who's just like a regular guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's so related to this, but also not at all.
I have no idea why I'm thinking this way, but it's reminding me just a tiny bit of like Peter from Deadpool. Like
oh yeah.
Like his like just guy friend.
Right.
Yeah. Like I imagine that's what the other Tom is like.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
he's like a car salesman.
He just like sells cars, you know. Yeah. It's just like whatever.
Minivans.
Yeah, minivans. Yeah, I never went back to my grandparents' house. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Was it in the will or anything? I kind of moved out of Little Angleton. That place was creepy, man.
It was. Plus, I didn't like Dot at all.
Didn't like Dot.
Total
like,
gossip.
The whole town was just like they were all obsessed with my family. I just had to get out of there.
I just had to get out of there.
Get out of there.
Yeah. So now I sell Honda Odysseys.
Yeah. And I visit my mom, Cecilia, on the weekends.
That's right. That's right. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much as always for tuning into another fun episode. I feel like we're so in it now. I feel like every sentence matters.
Every sentence matters.
Yeah. It's been good times.
Every sentence counts.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Like the bear. Or every second counts.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. Look at us. We've referenced so many things.
Many things.
Yeah.
We watch other things.
We do.
We're not just Harry Potter.
Maybe we'll start a new podcast at some point in time to cover some of the other stuff we like.
Yeah. Some of the other stuff. Yeah.
All right. You want to close this out?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. We are just 2 chapters away from the end of Goblet of Fire. So make sure you join us next week for chapter 36, The Parting of the Ways, the one that has the chapter art that should have been the Dark Mark chapter.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah. Anyway, but it's going to be a good one. It is a really, really impactful chapter moving into Order of the Phoenix. So see you then. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Today's episode was edited by Ethan Edghill. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.